to 65k an hour because that's what they told us they start their sprint at. And we're going to measure how much drag. Welcome back to the Wind Tunnel.
We gotta go. We're late.
Is today the day?
It's the day, man. Let's go.
Specialized wind tunnel?
It is.
Let's bounce.
Let's bounce.
All right. All jokes aside, we are going back to the specialized wind tunnel. We're super lucky they're having us back. We have a time slot where I selfishly just want to go in there and test my sprint position, to be perfectly honest with you. Look, I have a bunch of really big national level crits this summer. I want to win. And small changes in your position make a huge difference in your speed. So we're going to get in there. We're going to test some sprint positions on the bike. And I think a lot of it's going to apply to you guys too. So we want to just see how fast we can get on the sprint. Final 200 meters. Let's go. B-roll. Okay, we're done warming up, and here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna test some sprint positions at different wind speeds. We're gonna do a really fast wind speed at 43 miles an hour, and I wanna test 4 positions. I'm gonna test this position that nobody should ever be sprinting in, which is up like this. Don't sprint like this on the hoods. Another sprint position is, I would say it's within my comfort zone. If we are sprinting like slightly uphill, or I'm just trying to maximize power at lower speeds, I'm still pretty upright, but I'm down in the drops, I'm maximizing my power output. The third position is pretty aggressive. Think about like Mark Cavendish or Caleb Ewan. I've sprinted this way if it's really fast. We're talking down here like this, really low, really fast. And then the fourth and final sprint position, Jack Boy. We're doing seated. I am as aero as possible, but I know I'm compromising power. The question is how much? All right, so we ran the test at 43 miles an hour with those 4 sprints, and we're gonna do it again, 35 miles an hour this time. This represents like a slightly uphill sprint, or even like a lower category, maybe a Cat 4 or 5 sprint, not so high speed. We wanna see what the difference is there. Same forward, let's go.
So yeah, how this works is what we're looking at here are your coefficients. So this is what we refer to as drag counts, right? And then to go from these to power, it's a pretty simple equation we use. And the rule of thumb for the speeds that you're going, that 43 mile an hour speed, is for every count we're looking at about 5 watts. So in terms of a power delta to go the same speed, you can do 375 fewer watts in that aero sprint position to go the same exact speed as in your standing sprint.
You got that? So turtle your head, get low, and then you can go 375 less watts at the same speed. Okay, but the question is, can I actually make power in those really aero positions in real life, outside? I brought my bike. EJ, what do you think we go outside, try to rip some sprints?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we finished testing. We're out of the wind tunnel. We're out here at Alviso now because I want to bring this back to real life. Here's what we learned from the wind tunnel. Seated sprints are the most aerodynamic. We know that. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's faster. So we're gonna go rip some sprints at Alviso between corners 1 and 2. We're gonna find out. All right, testing done. We're looking at the results. What's the fastest sprint position? Well, as with most things, it depends. But hear me out, because I'm gonna try to keep this very simple. First of all, here's the general rule. If you don't listen to anything else I say, here it is. The faster you're going, the more aerodynamics matter. the slower you're going, the more absolute power matters. So with that in mind, let's first look at the fast 43-mile-an-hour tests. Here are the 4 positions that we tested. In red, we have the wind tunnel data, which shows what power is required in order to ride at 43 miles an hour in each of the 4 positions. And then in green, we have the power that I was actually able to produce in each of those 4 positions. So let's simplify this, and let's look at the difference between those 2 bars, because that is going to tell us which position is fastest at 43 miles an hour. And here you can see that the max aero position, still out of the saddle, but really emphasizing aerodynamics, although it's not the most powerful, or the most aero actually, it's the fastest, and therefore it's the best at 43 miles an hour. In fact, poor form or a seated sprint are both in the red here. They're actually at a power deficit, which means at that speed, even at an all-out effort, I'd be slowing down if I tried to hold those positions at 43 miles an hour. Okay, so let's look at 35 miles an hour. You can see the power requirements are much lower to overcome aerodynamic drag at this lower speed, and therefore it's no surprise that we're all in the green here, meaning that any position we adopt, we're able to continue accelerating at 35 miles an hour. But one stands above the others, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. Maximum power actually ekes out maximum aero at 35 miles an hour, meaning we have optimized our position based on our speed. Okay, so let me tie all this together by telling you something interesting that was happening while we were in the wind tunnel. I was holding the same exact body position between the 43 mile an hour tests and the 35 mile an hour tests. At least I thought I was. But we kept having to redo these tests because I was instinctively getting myself into a more aerodynamic position when I was faced with a 43 mile an hour headwind. During those tests, and it was totally by accident, just by habit, when I was hit in the face with that extra wind speed, I was crouching more and I was adopting a more aerodynamic position. And this leads me into my final thoughts. Sprints are dynamic. Oftentimes they start at lower speeds, even 28, 30 miles an hour, and they finish upwards of 42, 43 miles an hour. Because the speed is changing, so should your position. So the fastest sprint starts with you in a more upright, powerful position with not much regard for aerodynamics, and then it slowly transforms as you continue to accelerate into a lower, more aerodynamic one. So hopefully you learned something today. Smash the subscribe button. It means a lot for me and the channel, you guys. It's totally free. It helps us to continue producing content like this. Special thanks to Specialized and Leo at the Wind Tunnel for making this possible. And as always, catch you guys in the next one. You said what the? Seriously, here's what we're doing today. Super excited that Specialized is having us back out. We have a slot open at their wind tunnel. Wind tunnel. Wind tunnel. That's what they call it. You close enough, or? I want to run one at like 43 miles an hour. I got it.